exists right now with Wind Ranger.
I would point to the very first game, right, where they probably felt like they should have been able to win that game with a Phantom Lancer against a Wind Ranger. Like, this is traditionally a single target focused hero, but there were some good shackle shots, but one thing I would really point to that probably Liquid didn't expect was the fact that this focus fire kept through after Doppelganger. He tries to Manta, same thing, right? He actually just kept locking onto that hero, and I'm pretty sure it didn't work that way before.
I don't
Almost positive.
Well, no,
right?
it's I believe because you just attack it at all times.
So you have to refine the hero to be able to right-click it. Here, you just keep going.
That was the major change in 7.1.4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that part is definitely a very different feel for the Phantom Lancer specifically.
That plus the early game W was buffed. It just does more damage, and all the items you buy are better too. You ban Wind Ranger. The hero I would pick if I'm Liquid, it was available in that game, but you don't really want to pick it into really the Chen, which is why when you ban that, Venomancer. They let it through that time until the second phase. I think if you can get Veno in the first phase, if you're Liquid, you do it.
We've seen a lot of teams still being capable of dealing with the Chen. I actually didn't see a whole lot of the Purge Creep picked up by Mind Control against the Sendback, which is the way that Dooms have usually been dealing with it. So other teams have kind of showed ways to be able to deal with this. So I think it's possible they still live Chen out there.
Like, I thought he actually made a couple mistakes where he's just walking around. It was like 40 minutes. He had 4 armor as Doom. You need a little more than that.
Yeah, you got to get at least that value plate mail or the old casual buckler.
Something.
Some
Buy a medallion, Because it's especially with the strength changes and everyone just having more HP, armor is effectively far more, just better. Armor plus scales linearly as in relation to your estimated, or your ET, your effective HP. Every point of armor is 5% more EHP against physical damage, and in that game, both cores are just right-clicking the crap out of you. More armor, the better. There's no such thing as overbuying it in that game.
Same reason why Solar Crest as well is really valued for the miss percentage. It's like the same kind of concept that these strength heroes, they just get such a higher EHP when the evasion is effective. Same goes with Heaven's Halberd.
All right, players getting ready for game number 3's draft. And of course, that man's he's had quite a lot to deal with in the first couple of games today, and I don't think he'll have necessarily enjoyed game 1 where he had to play a slightly different hero from the one that he's used to, that's for sure.
Veil Gyrocopter.
Not a thing.
With level 15 talent rocket barrage increased damage.
That's something new.
It was the first time he's played on the Gyro in more than 3 months. So,
hey, I mean, if you're Liquid, why not try things, right?
Yep. It has felt a little bit like that in all 3 of their series so far. They've tried little things, maybe not as wild as Pudge first pick and techies, but they have just checking a few things out, I think.
I think that's something I really hope the Chinese teams learn from. I think Liquid's champions for a reason. Same with VP, really. And you learn a lot more when you try new things.
Yeah,
versus
we saw from LGD, though. Yeah.
LGD have done that,
Tinker, Silencer, Bounty Hunter draft. That was a very different draft.
And Newbie yesterday as well, first game. Admittedly, they just kind of got scared afterwards because they were like, well, that didn't work. Let's go back to what we know.
Did you see what happened against Pain today?
No.
Well,
did they pick Naga?
I don't really want to talk about
Naga Disruptor. Yeah, they picked Naga. Naga Disruptor Gyro?
It was, I mean, they're just like kind of copying people. They had like a Nyx Sand King opener, which Mineski did something similar in the game they lost against Complexity. That was no offense if you guys are watching. That was the worst draft of the tournament. Last pick Invoker to go with I think it was a Nyx Naga Spirit Breaker Tiny. And I'm like, okay, guys, what's the plan here? Moon tried to play a no Midas Invoker, and I don't know. It was rough. It would have been good a couple years ago, but now that you need so much wave clear, like you can't play this off-map style anymore. It just doesn't work.
Black called he'd like his 2014 Invoker back.
Yeah, he'd like to be on Vici Gaming again, too.
I think Iceberg forgot what team he's on. What
yeah, it's like fraternizing with the enemy here.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. Team Spirit playing at the Epicenter Major, apparently.
Interesting. I was wondering what non grata meant. In Latin, It's person not
Oh.
appreciated.
Oh, really? Okay,
From the Latin, yeah.
I thought it was non gratis.
Yeah,
Gratis is the free word in Latin, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that name a lot. Honestly, it's quite good.
It is, yeah. I don't. There's not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough highbrow names in
When
Dota 2.
when I played WoW 10 years ago, I was like a night elf rogue, right? Because I was 14 when I made my character, and my tag was replaceable. And even though I've changed my name, I feel like the moniker is still pretty accurate.
I like that.
What are your favorite names for pros in Dota?
Oh,
Oof. I think I mean I've always loved Arteezy's nickname because it's like it's the best from a branding perspective. Like you got it rhymes, you can draw it down to 3 letters. I mean, come on.
it's pretty good.
All he
think
needs to do now is win a title.
Same reason that OD's name is very nice. OD
Yeah.
Pixel, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that it incorporates your actual name into
Yeah.
your brand.
Yeah, I like that too. I did play against a guy back in the day, way back in the day, who had a nickname, and his nickname was Cunning Stunt.
Interesting.
Quite like that.
That's a good one.
I like Fears as well. I mean, honestly, everyone on EGs was just badass, right? Like you got Fear
Yeah.
and Universe. Come on, it's just intimidating, you know. It's like
Pretty cool.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
And then of course you got I mean
Kyle.
Kyle. Yeah,
Miracle is a great name for
that's another.
a guy
Where
who just
did you
goes to the
get-
top.
By the way, where did you get Swindle Melons from?
That's
Where
a
did
lot.
that come from?
Let's not go there.
Really?
No, I mean, long story short,
Is it boring or?
Han used to
Yeah.
have in-houses, like real in-houses, because there just weren't enough players to play pubs, right?
Right.
And I would always just host the games. And when the game got taken out of beta and went real, I was playing under the tag Watermelons for a while, but I was always like hosting these games. And in Han, like you had all these little beefs, but the player base wasn't big enough where you could just, pull a Mason and just kick 7 people out of the league and still have games. You had to keep playing with these people.
Right.
And I would have to lock like anyone that had a little bit of a grudge at the time against one another. But my team would often win. So people were saying I was swindling the in-houses. So I changed my name to Swindlemelons.
I like it. Cool.
Do you just really like watermelon?
Yeah.
Why the
Who
original?
doesn't like watermelon?
Right?
One of the greatest fruits of all time, isn't it?
It's up there.
Yeah. It's
Pineapple's
definitely world
number one.
class.
Watermelon's average.
Watermelon's not average.
It's
Not top 3 overrated.
It's
It's like
perfect.
95% water or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Water's all right.
That is
Fantastic.
not healthy. Do not listen to Kyle. Watermelon is not healthy.
It's better than the candy bars you keep eating.
I have not had a single candy bar here.
The viewers at home
Kyle.
don't know that.
That would be me.
Kyle took a bite. Me and Cap shamed him into not eating the candy bar, but instead of throwing it away, he just left a candy bar
Yeah.
on
Look, guys.
the catering table
Totally
I don't
believable.
believe
with a
in
bite
wasting
taken
food.
out of it.
Totally believe it.
Who's going to eat that?
Yeah.
Someone might have.
I took him a cake yesterday. Did you see it? I actually brought a cake over. I said, "Cat, you need to try this cake." No, well, yeah, but maybe. I actually went and got the cake, brought it back, put it on his table, stood in there.
I mean,
Like, you just can't get this guy to eat anything healthy.
you said a cake.
Yeah.
What kind
Cake's
of cake are we
healthy.
talking about? A fruit cake?
Cake's
It's a
healthy.
carrot cake. It's got carrot in the
vitamins
name.
in. Right, let's get into the draft for game number 3. See whether
Yeah.
Fly to Moon can register a best-of-3 victory over Team Liquid, who have just recorded their 750th ever professional game win in Dota 2.
They did ban the Chen, their last ban, which is, I also think, like a really smart decision. You always, the one that they're not sure about, the one you're not repeating from the previous game, you save for last. They banned the Bounty-less Chen, comparatively the Wisp, Furion, Night Stalker from Fly to Moon, which notably leaves the Venomancer in the pool.
Gods was right.
Yeah, you guys thought that band Wind Ranger.
Chen band, Wind Ranger still there.
Yeah, come on, Kyle. Get your shit together.
You just don't really have the mind for drafting like Gods does.
Yeah. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
In Australia,
Not a digital one.
4 times a day, because upside down we're also right. So we get a few extra times, Kyle.
Man. Wish I had a few freebies. I guess you kind of like, if you live with all those spiders and snakes, you need to take the wins when you can, right? And Vegemite.
Do you know the best thing about Australia being an island?
What?
So those spiders can't get off that bloody place.
Man.
Makes us tougher
Yeah.
and more well-rounded.
Yep.
I think Australia is the only place more frightening than like Middle America. Like pretty much everything in between the coasts.
Yeah.
I feel like
Well, yeah,
Australia is the
tornadoes,
place.
hurricanes,
Oh, yeah,
poisonous
man.
snakes. pretty much everything, right, in the middle of America. That's way worse than Australia.
The secret is Australia's lovely. The people are like the nicest ever with the best beaches, but we scare everyone off from coming. The Americans particularly, because we don't want them ruining our country.
Right?
It's great.
You get a country of like 5 million with about 5 billion miles worth of places to go. It's fantastic.
You go to a beach and it's just empty. You have a beach to yourself. I don't want a crowded beach. I mean, Sydney, they get a bit crowded beach.
Yeah. What is it that guys say? Oh, no, mate, don't come to the beach. No, we have like really killer spiders and great whites, mate. Oh, they eat you.
I
so
feel
you don't
like
want to do that.
The jellyfish there,
they'll
kill you as well.
Yeah, don't go to the beach, mate. No, it's terrible.
Australia is the place where in the future overpopulation is a problem, so each country sends like 1 million of its people to just have like a battle royale on the island.
PUBG Island. Love it.
Interesting. They Morphling second pick, and theoretically, this could just be my Control's hero, just to keep with the whole pick the 3 and the 4 together. He looks, that's what.
You want me to play what? This is the universe face all over again.
I was getting flashbacks.
Wait, you want me to play what, Jackie?
Conka, huh?
Well, all right.
I mean, you don't want to Venno into Rubik Doom, specifically just the Rubik. Morphling's a hero that a lot of people have been having success with, notably Liquid, at this tournament. But I stand by. I feel like this could just be offlane morph.
Isn't actual core carry Morphling like against Doom kind of questionable?
Yeah,
your percentage-based damage, like a hard lockdown. Doom will pick up some sort of ability to break your Lincolns before he casts the Doom.
Guys, it's Miracle. He's going to play Morphling. I don't know what you two are talking about.
I think that no. Liquid picked up Doom. Like they went Night Stalker Doom. I think Doom's a really good hero. Ooh. They're looking at this and going like, okay, they could picked up Doom. Let's just make our own Doom with Morphling. He's just gonna role play.
Their morph with the bands are like the Nyx band. I don't know. It still feels like it's, to me at least, more likely going to be Miracle playing it, unless they are going like for the full mind games. Like, oh, let's pretend it's a morph carry to mess them up. Yeah,
it could be like they think it's Terrorblade status now.
I mean, you guys saw my Control's face. He's playing this Morphling.
I like Kyle's idea better because I think it would be dope if he just turned himself into a Doom half the game.
I don't think the hero's a good offlaner, though. It's the problem. Like, I guess the flexibility is there. Like, if they do hard counter, okay, we send it offlane, kind of like the gyrocopter ended up happening. But that lost in the game because you go to gyro offlane that can do nothing.
Imagine this, Gods. You're a support player. Imagine this. You're playing this Rubik. You're like, I'm going to protect my carry. And all of a sudden, a Sand King Morphling runs at you. You get Burrow struck, and a Morphling is sitting at 400 HP, but hitting for 100 damage at level 1. You're terrified. You're going to lose that lane.
Oh, so he thinks like an Agi offlane morph. That's going to be...
I'm just saying at the very start,
okay,
you know, when he's coming at you.
Okay.
So you take your Kuroki hero next. Surprised they banned Jakiro after taking Rubik. That's a bit off to me. I don't know if I would agree with that.
Don't see many Jakiro bans, full stop.
I think Kuro is like one of the guys that still definitely believes in that hero, and I like it quite a bit, but I think Rubik just, especially when people go this max dual breath build, if you ever get that spell, Rubik just becomes this like insane hero. You're pumping out like 700 magic damage with a stun and a slow to boot. We'll see. I mean, it's a Kuro hero here, so.
Yeah, Kuro hero, good steals.
Which sector?
He believes in it. I'm not a fan, but you know.
Had a great game on it in the last one, 3-8 and 31.
Yeah, I mean, it gives a tool, right? Like even though Maledict got nerfed, it didn't affect the spell whatsoever once it was maxed out. And at the end of the day, late game, especially again the strength change, everybody seems to have a hell of a lot of health. It just makes Maledict a better ability.
Yeah, I mean it's only early game, right? It's only first 4 levels.
Mm-hmm.
And Scorched Earth matches up well against Maledict because it is this heal over time that you feel like you're not as threatened. You don't get as low HP, which means the next proc of damage does even more. It's just this building factor. So any sort of heal really affects the Maledict potential damage.
Here's the Silent hero, kind of the typical FTM drafting formula. You get Silent, his stable carry, the PL, Gyro, Lone Druid, and then you last pick Iceberg's big, crazy X-Factor hero that's going to win you the game.
Yep. We haven't had the Wraith King from him. I'm disappointed.
I
thought we might get one. I thought we might get one just to see whether it would work against a team like Liquid. But
they were winning qualifiers with it. Then they took it to LAN, DPC event, Star Ladder, and lost with it several times, I want to say. And it lost at this tournament already. The hero's garbage as a carry. I actually think it's awful.
Yeah, and they may well have come to that same conclusion through experience. However, the Wind Ranger is still open.
Yeah, it could be. This is why I don't think you. Why do you ban Wind Ranger first 3 when they always last pick Iceberg's heroes? Like,
well, okay, so you don't have Chen to go for the send back, but you can still get Underlord against a Phantom Lancer and have Dark Rift says against Doom.
Really, really bad against Doom Rubik though. Like Doom
Just
percent-based
because of the
HP,
percentage-based
and
damage, yeah.
you don't want to give away Firestorm. It's so grim.
Rubik is actually really hard to play against.
I actually think Rubik's the hardest counter to Underlord, just
Agree.
because you just take his Q, and there's nothing you
And
really
then
do about it.
he telekinesis you too, so you get hit by like 5 waves of your own Firestorm.
do they take the Lone Druid here?
Not into PL, I don't think. I was thinking maybe they'd go for Timbersaw, but against Doom it could be a bit rough, especially with an Earth Spirit to back him up. I was thinking Sven, but not a huge fan of that. Ember Spirit could be interesting. They kind of want some tower damage. Maybe you just go for Alina, but there's a Rubik as well.
Yeah, I was thinking Lena SF, just one of those kind of AoE damage.
I could see them going Visage. It'd be nice to have some HOD hero, even though PL matches up real well against Visage. Like just for the synergy, it crushes Doom.
Okay.
A Doom Absorber, Silence. It's really good against Earth Spirit. He wants to roam middle. DP's just like, nah, bro, you can't kill me.
Probably Matu Death Prophet then, in the mid.
Yep.
Or
Question is it Miracle Morphling? I'm telling you, they're doing
It's
something funky.
Miracle
They're having
Morphling,
way
man.
too much fun right now.
You're overthinking things, Kyle.
Nah.
It's as simple as it looks.
Look, man, if you, as a high tier
$10,
Dota 2
$10,
player,
let's go.
gods, you got to think about
Kyle,
every
money where your mouth's
possibility, huh?
at. Money where your mouth's
I don't think we're allowed to bet on games,
Okay.
gods.
off stream.
What? Paul, they can bet on this next pick.
You can
Doing hand
use
signals
monsters
over
if you
here.
want. You can use cans of monster. Doesn't have to be monetary, does it?
I mean, I'm not trying to go the way of the Australian cricket team.
Well, that's. I think they were doing ball tampering unless you're doing
Maybe
something under
that's
the
what
table. I
Cal-
can't see.
I
Maybe that-
already know what the last pick is, so I've got the info to make this bet, Kyle. That would
Maybe
be the
that-
Australian way.
That's what Cap was doing yesterday, possibly. Like
These
somebody-
games were
somebody's
actually
taking out
played
bets on his
3 days
predictions.
ago. We're watching pre-recorded drafts.
Yep.